Hello everyone and welcome back to Phoenix Rising. My name is Gypsy. Well, Phoenix is in need of a new heart since we took the old Ford Lehman out. So we found one at Viking Boat Works in St. Petersburg, Florida. 165 horsepower Perkins. Mike at work fixing the axle that busted. This is what happens when your axle breaks, because you've got this much weight on the trailer that Mr. MacGyver Michael put two pieces of steel on there, wrapped it with rope, and then I got him some Gorilla Tape, and then he wrapped it with Gorilla Tape. We stopped to get a tire and realized the axle had busted. We got a long way to make it home to Marathon. Off we go. Wish us luck. Well, we got the Perkins home and us all safe and sound. Now it's time to assess what we actually purchased. Eric told us that the turbo was locked up, and that would be an easy fix, I guess, or just replace it. And little by little we started taking the pieces off because the engine still would not turn. Here's the turbo, finally cleaned out and spinning freely. It was not locked up. The starter, well, it has to go. It can't be reused. You give Michael a little bit of time and see what happens. Okay, so today Michael has decided to finally break in to the Perkins. He's all set up here under his shade, got his work truck going, and we're gonna break into this puppy and see what's going on today. Now it's time to start breaking in and see why the engine would not turn. Valve cover came off, and everything looks quite fine actually inside.
Frozen trannies removed. Had to bust all the springs and actually bust the spring clutch plate off of the flywheel to get it loose. But as soon as it came off, the engine, I tried to turn the engine over, and the engine turned over very freely, so she will live. The tranny, not so much. That'll be replaced. Bell housing probably be replaced as well. She's got a big hole in her.
Yeah.
Other than that, just a few ancillary parts, putting her back together.
All good.
New gaskets, a couple new studs.
Turbo.
Turbo's operational.
Truck going on.
Water pump spins freely. Injection pump was full of water, or I'm sorry, fuel when I took it apart. Got all fresh oil in her, so she's almost ready to start cleaning up. Even the lift pump works very nicely. You just crossed over from a dead engine to one that will live again very nicely. Next we'll buy a new starter for her, roll her over, get the blood pumping, get the oil flowing in her again, pull all the panels off, replace all the gaskets.
Yuck. The whole bottom of this was just totally gone.
Well,
All right. So as it turns out, it was the transmission that was frozen up and totally and completely locked up to the flywheel. And once removed and the plate removed, the engine turned over quite nicely. Now, that cover right there needs some help. Isn't that pretty? Nothing wrong with it. All getting cleaned up and will be put back together. Now look at her. Every piece has been sanded and wire brushed and painted. New hoses. The third starter, if I have to be honest. I am quite thrilled with what Michael has done. Now for the engine room. While Michael was working on the Perkins, I decided to clean, prime, and paint as much of the engine room as I could possibly get to. And that was a task. So this is the engine room after 2 coats of primer on the walls. That down there is so disintegrated I can't paint it. Got some spray paint I'm going to try on. I cleaned all of that. And primed it. And now I'm putting a gray on. And I've got 2 or 3 coats of primer. 3 coats of primer on all of this here. Working my way back past all the junk, but it's definitely looking better. Well, I ended up with 3 coats of primer and 2 coats of paint, and Michael ultimately took the engine rails out, sanded and repaired, and then rebolted them back in to make them more safe. Now it's time to test the starter and see what happens. It's just spinning. It's not even touching gears anymore. Michael's been working real hard on the Perkins for the Formosa.
Bringing her back from the dead.
Yes, he has. So we're gonna give her a crank, see what we got.
That's all we're doing.
Okay, that was very loud. We need a muffler. The neighbors hate us. But yeah, she's right.
Try number 3.
John is going to attempt to line this up in the hole, and Michael is going to get it in the hole. This is a big shout out to John at Driftwood Marina here in Marathon.
We have to go forward a little more, but I want to get her closer right now. Straight in.
Just watch the turbo. Oh.
Keep it coming down, baby. Oh. Stop. Okay, go. Hold it. Up just a little bit.
Up a hair.
Okay. Down.
Down.
That's good.
Right here.
Stop. Whoop. Forward. Actually,
Wait. What do you want?
going a little bit that way.
Actually, he wants to go that way a little bit. The legs want to catch.
Motor monster.
It's in. Michael still has to get it in place. But it's there. Michael has completed a phenomenal feat in rebuilding this Perkins for us, getting her into the boat and now he sets to the task of getting it all lined up and the shaft and the transmission together properly. We still need fuel tanks. So we have steering now.
We have steering now.
Michael's filled the reservoir and he's working at the bubbles. Hey, Mama. There is still so much more to do before we can hit the water, and time is running out for us in the yard.